What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. About 4 hours ago, you probably saw the video where I talked about hashtag end Madden Monopoly, and they have responded. Before we get into how they responded, I want to go back to how they responded to Fix Madden Franchise. Important date here, July 2nd. Sean Grady comes out with a commitment to the franchise community and improving that aspect of the game. Then we're going to move forward because what I talked about, what happened today, is exactly what happened. I said in my video, the only response EA has is to either improve its game or to give copies away and try to silence the critics, and that is exactly what they did. As soon as End Madden Monopoly started to trend, they tweeted, "Who's still looking for a copy of Madden 21?" And Ryan responds, "I'm not trying to be mean. I just spent money on this game. I'm wondering if I can get a refund or a code." And I want you to look at how they responded to him, because this shows me that they are simply reacting to what's happening. They don't know that we're starting a hashtag at noon, so they have to be reactionary to it. To the point that communication with EA is so poor, you see here EA help telling him, currently at this time we're not able to provide any game codes. Well, we know that's not true because the Madden Twitter is giving them away. In fact, they were giving them away to people if you tagged them as well. Now let's talk about the game update, because they released the update shortly after this, hopefully thinking that it would silence the people that want the game better and showing they were working to improve it. Now we talked about that July update that they gave us. This July update is turning into a mid-November target for the first of 3 post-launch franchise updates. So your first update will come in November. Now let's talk about what they're adding here. Now I will say both of these things were much requested, much needed, and certainly appreciated. X Factor and Superstar has done wonders for other game modes, regardless of how I or you may feel about it. Certainly implementing it into franchise would not be a bad thing in the ability to customize them. Looking at the player stats, this is a user interface thing. Certainly we've all wanted it, but it really doesn't change the game itself. It's just visual representation of what a player has done in his career. Moving forward, tuning. I don't ever want to see tuning in an update. Tuning is not something tangible. Tuning can be done at any point. So when you talk about regression tuning, that isn't anything of true substance. That's not a feature. That's not an option. You can tune the game the entire year. So while you're putting this in here, it's simply making it look like you're doing more than you actually are doing. That's a big problem we have with EA. They don't do what they say they're going to do, and then they over-dramatize what they're doing to make it seem like they've done more. Most importantly, though, a playoff bracket. You mean to tell me mid-November, we're going to start to see the new wildcard format that the NFL is using in franchise mode? What about all the seasons that we played before that? It doesn't make any sense. Neither does their wording. Read this last line. "And we look forward to sharing a firm day with you for the title update once we have it." A firm day? The only thing firm in this community is the response to this game. It is not acceptable to treat customers this way. This is how you treat your customers, EA Sports. This is how your customers feel. And your response to us is to give your game away for free, diminish the value of your product, essentially say that you are the only company in America that can't actually profit selling a product with NFL licensing, and you have to simply provide it to your customer. Or you want to talk about how hard you're working to do 4 things, only one of which may impact gameplay. One is a tuning update, the other is a wildcard playoff that should be in the game from launch, because that's how the NFL season plays out, and then obviously a user interface. That took you from July to November to accomplish? What exactly are you doing? How hard exactly are you working? Because I'm sorry, I don't know what goes into the game, but I do know what ends up in our hands. And if you think 4 small changes is worthy of us praising you, if you think that we're accepting months and months of Fix Madden Franchise, NFL Drop EA, and End NFL Monopoly trending, and all of a sudden you were going to satisfy our desire for a better product with 4 things, then you're absolutely wrong. This is actually what got you here. Making small, marginal changes during the game year. And the fact that you're telling us the first of 3 will be released in November tells me that we're probably looking at February or March before that final patch is completed. So you've sold us a game, you've got our money, or in many cases you've just given it to someone. But to some customers that weren't fortunate enough to know how bad your product was going to be and be given a copy through a giveaway as the community pushed back against your product, the people that paid for it, they have the ultimate disrespect, the ultimate disservice, that they will not actually get the experience you spoke and committed to in July until starting in November and possibly December, if not January. And that's assuming that everything goes off without any problems. And if we're being honest with ourselves, we all know there is an expectation, setting aside EA's track history, there is an expectation when patching and updating games, things will be flawed. Things will not always work properly. And as frustrated as we are right now as a fan base, all of us would be willing to understand if things do need to be patched again, in an attempt to get them to function 100%, because it's an industry standard, it's a video game standard, that not all patches are perfect. But the reality is you sold many of us a game based on promises you did not keep. The dates are there to prove that. And your response to your customer by just giving the game away can now be visually shown as frustrating the people that have bought it. I don't know how you can put yourself in a worse situation. I don't know how you can do more to disrespect your customer. I said on Twitter, it's a common saying that pressure either bursts pipes or makes diamonds. And I can tell you, at my core, I was hoping that all of this pushback from this game was going to have EA sit down and reevaluate how this game is done, made, produced, and start to work forward and build the product that we deserve, that they should have been providing us for years. Okay, I was hoping this pressure would make that diamond, would make Madden the game it deserves to be. And instead, what we found is it had the exact opposite effect. It burst the pipe, where EA now just sits back and says, how can we combat this? We can only combat this by using another hashtag. So you mean to tell me that rather than satisfy your customer, you'd rather just give someone else the game? We don't have the scale that you do. You're the game developer. You're the company selling the product. You're reaching so many more people. So when you try to silence us with your hashtag, it's always going to work. The fact that we can even get together and get hashtags trending should tell you all you need to know about how upset we are with your product. But you don't care. You don't have the passion we do. And it shows in your product, in your updates, and your communication to us. But guess what? We're not going to stop. I actually find so much joy in seeing you sit there and give away your game for free rather than fix it. I actually take great pride in knowing what may be my biggest contribution to the community that I've been in over 10 years will be I've made you, with our community, force thousands upon thousands of game codes released. And at some point, I know there's someone in that building that will look at those numbers and ask why 100,000 copies of this game needed to be given away for free. And someone will answer for that. The question will be, will they say, because we don't have a product that's worth what we're charging? And we're just showing the community we've known that all along. Because that's all we've learned from this experience. You guys won't get another notification, but I've got a fantastic video for you coming up tonight. I cannot thank all of you enough for your support of me, my channel, this community. What we've been able to do the past 3 months has been absolutely incredible, and there's so many people to thank for it. But at the end of the day, we're all working together to get a better product for ourselves, and whether EA delivers it or not, it is going to happen. I appreciate you watching this video. You know, there should also be shirts in the bottom that will tell you. I will be back in the week with more commentary.